Hi, my name is Paul Kinvig. I'm Chief Operating Officer of the Bournemouth Town Centre BID, and I'm here in one of Bournemouth's busiest and brightest and most innovative coffee shops, Naked Coffee, with the owner and all-round coffee guru, Mr. Ian Saul. Ian, good to see you.
How you doing, Paul? You well?
I'm extremely well, my friend.
Good, good.
I'm interested to know how you came up with this idea of Naked and how it all started.
Well, what we did is, in the early 90s, I was a vegan and struggled to get any food and sat with friends who weren't vegan. So you go to a vegan restaurant and they wouldn't want artichoke and you wouldn't want to go and have beef. So what we looked at trying to do is getting somewhere where everybody could eat together and enjoy a concept of fun with different styles of food rather than token gestures.
That meant you're kind of ahead of the curve, because currently, obviously, vegetarianism, veganism, the whole green agenda's right up the, right in the public eye.
I think it wasn't, we didn't know that, and it was lucky that we fell into that, but at the same point, the reason we wanted to do it was just to make sure people weren't being singled out, and that people could feel attracted to come and have the food together.
So jumping off that point, because you do a number of innovative things here at Naked. Yeah. In your view, what is it that kind of makes you different?
So what we do is we try to start off with doing ethical and sustainable and keeping things local. We go to some of the food assemblies and kind of get as many of those people on board with us. We then looked into roasting, and because we wanted to do coffee shop roasting, we wanted to try and keep the footprint down of delivery. We decided to get an in-house roaster. We looked at convection roasting, which was electrical roasting, which means that there's no carbon emissions. So we're the only ones, I think, in the UK, if not the world, that do this type of roasting in store.
That kind of thing is really important. It's all part of this kind of green agenda. Because am I right in saying that the energy you use in this place is all renewable? And
so we use renewable energy. So what we pay extra for the energy to come in from wind turbines, sources, etc. And then what we also do is we use electric vans for deliveries. We're starting to lower our packaging down to compostable packaging. It's not always easy to do that with everything. It's not cost effective, and sometimes you have to look at the balance of what you can afford to do and what you want to look to do in the future.
So it's kind of almost what's important to you as a business, of course, from a holistic point of view, not just serving great coffee, I suppose.
100%. And the hard thing is to keep those values. As we're expanding and growing bigger, it looks almost like you're becoming more commercial, and you have to try and keep those roots and keep where you're going with it, and make sure that what you're doing is still ethical and your belief, rather than trying to be sold out for cash, which is hard sometimes, because it's the reason you do business.
Well, you've got to run a business,
of course.
Do you think it gives you an edge? Do you think it gives you a USP, this focus on things, in terms of maybe your customer base?
I could tell you that we're extremely busy all the time, so I suppose that says itself. The ethics we don't push them onto people. We kind of let people know what we do, but we don't kind of put it and chuck down people's throats. You tend to find a lot of the places you can go is you do get told what you should and shouldn't do. Yeah. We're here, we're free, you do what you want, and you can, within reason.
I suppose building on that, what are the current challenges you face? Because coffee shops, whilst they're very popular, it's a congested market and it's a competitive market. What are the kind of challenges you're facing?
Heavy taxes. VAT is applicable on everything you sell. So that takes 20% of everything you have before you get out of bed. Challenge that with, I suppose because we're unique, we don't seem to suffer about there being coffee shops popping up around the corner or next door. So on that side of it, it's okay. The other side is trying to keep things exciting, because you're in a consumer world nowadays. It's not like when you and I were children, more so much you. Nowadays people they like change and they like it yesterday. So you've got to keep the evolution of what you're doing going pretty.
Does that mean you've got to be really nimble and fast-paced in terms of what you do?
100%. We change. If you come in here last week, we'll be different than we are last week or the week before. So most people, when they come in, this is new, and this is different. You've always got to be on the ball with trying to look at new ideas. We're bringing in a nitro coffee, which no one else in the UK is doing in store. I think they've brought out cans, and Costas or Starbucks are doing it in the UK, in the USA, but we're bringing it on tap now, so you have it looks like a fluffy Guinness.
Really cool. That's incredible. So given you've got to be nimble, you've got to be fast paced, you kind of got to anticipate what your customers want, sometimes before they know they want it. Yeah. Without giving any secrets away, what kind of exciting things are coming up for you?
So as I said, we've got the nitro coffee, which is something that no one else is doing. It's a really cool concept. It gives, as I said, it's the same as looking at a Guinness. They use the same process. We're also bringing out a new menu in February. We're going more breakfast orientated with gluten-free, vegan options as always, and we're pushing for our new store. We're looking at the moment, we're designing it. We're going onto a crowdfunding site to give people an option to be able to buy into the concept. Yeah, so we're looking at having like cycle bikes that you cycle and produce energy, and it'll have an LED screen screen tells you you've just generated lights for the ceilings and you'll get 10% off your coffee.
Actually in store?
Yeah, and kinetic floors, and we're also looking at hydroponics to put all our lettuce and stuff on to grow.
It's quite exciting because you're actually linking the values of the business and the values of, I suppose, many of the customers that you attract because of that, together to actually create a difference within the business.
Of course. I mean, the thing is we believe that you can only build a business together as a team. So we treat the team as best as we can, give them as many kind of bonuses and looking after us, etc., and bring them in involvement. We've got one of our young ladies who's just looking at, we've just given her the front of the shop to design, because you'll only bring your view and your design and your concept. And at this point now, I feel that my foot's been, my markers here has been done. Now it's time to let the team have their say and let them feel a bit of evolution themselves and kind of put new concepts into it. So it's not just one way forward, it's kind of building it together.
So I've got to ask you this, given what you do, what's your favourite coffee? What's your coffee of choice?
It's got to be number one, the Brazil. It's I like South American coffee. It's a sweet flavour, tip of the tongue, really nice, a little bit of acidity, but it's for me the sweetness that you don't have to add milk or anything else.
Brilliant. Ian, genuinely, it's been a great joy to talk to you, and it's really exciting the kind of stuff you're going down. Thanks very much.
Bless you, thanks.